or you bring it to America and stick it. I think you could now talk about filling out an outdoor stadium for a heavyweight bout for the first time in forever.
Lee, they're selling the front row at 100,000 seat arena. The front row seats are going for over $2,000. That's without a middleman.
But here's the thing.
There is no way.
This is why everybody said Eddie Hearn was the promoter of last year. Every single one of his cards is stacked. It's like Don King stacked, right? He uses that Don King format of, let's put 5 title bouts on.
No. It's that, Lee. It's that, and their fighters are fighting each other, okay? It's none of this bullshit where you got guys on social media going back and forth, but then as soon as it comes to, okay, well, let's talk about a fight. Oh, well, go talk to my manager. Oh, well, you got to go talk to my promoter.
Yeah, I agree. Come on, and I get the vibe from every Eddie Hearn interview, every fighter interview. I get the feeling where these guys want to do the, I almost get the feeling like it's old school. Like Eddie just looks at him and goes, "Go prove it to me. Go prove that you're a world champion."
Let me prove it, you guys. This fight coming up this Saturday, March 4th, Thurman Garcia. I told you guys this stat ago. I know we have all heard it. We've all seen it on the internet. Let's go through it one more time. The third time only in welterweight history that 2 undefeated fighters are going to see each other in the ring. That's going down next Saturday. Okay. These 2 guys, the first 2, Leonard Hearns, then you had De La Hoya Trinidad. There's nothing on next week's fight that makes it feel like one of those 2 other mega fights.
I agree.
And I'll tell you what they're missing. They're missing the Danny Garcia taking out Miguel Cotto in New York. They're missing the Keith Thurman dropping either Manny Pacquiao, dropping either Juan Manuel Marquez. When you build the 2 young guys behind dropping out the legends of before, that's how you
Garcia should have fought Kell Brooks. Pacquiao shouldn't have picked up the WBO title. Like, these 2 guys should have been stacked for the title.
Yes, Keith Thurman and Garcia have been on a collision course this whole time. This has been the fight. Why didn't they fight the legends of before the welterweights? That's what makes this one big. Trinidad beats Whitaker. De La Hoya beats Chavez, beats Whitaker, beats Cortez.
Thurman would easily beat Pacquiao. Garcia would easily beat Brooks.
That's what I mean.
Set up a massive... Yeah, and here's why. The PBC is about making... I don't know. I honestly don't know what the PBC scam is.
Danny Garcia versus Miguel Cotto would have been one of the biggest fights New York has seen in how long, Lee? How long?
Oh, no, I agree. And I'll make this statement right now. Of all the PBC fights that have gone down over the last couple of years, right, since we've watched this thing start, this is the biggest fight they've put on. And it does not feel like the biggest fight that they're putting on.
Leonard beat Benitez. Leonard beat Duran. Hearns beat Cuevas.
Why does this not feel like any of those massive fights? Like, this should feel like...
I'm trying to explain it to these guys. Why? They didn't take on the guys before, so none of the general public really know them. The Miguel Cotto fans, I'm serious. That fight would have gotten Danny Garcia more Puerto Rican fans. They don't understand this. They think every Puerto Rican already knows Danny Garcia. No, if he beats Miguel Cotto that night, there will be more Puerto Ricans going, you know what? He proved it tonight. I will be watching his next fight. He took out a legend in Miguel Cotto. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
If Keith Thurman beats Manny Pacquiao, beats Timothy Bradley, who else, Lee? Who beats Juan Manuel Marquez? There are legends there that these guys have not faced, yet I'm supposed to say these are the 2 best that we've got in the division? How do I know they can beat Juan Manuel Marquez? He was the best. How do I know Danny Garcia can beat Manny Pacquiao? He was the best.
I agree. We can do a whole show dedicated to this fight, and we will later on in the week for all of you. I know how big a deal this fight actually is, and it deserves having its own show and discussing their careers and discussing a breakdown of the fight. But for our purposes today, the fact that I didn't even feel a big push on the fight last night on Fox TV.
I was going to bring the good. You read my mind.
Jeez.
You read my mind.
What the? WTF?
That's conflict of interest between 2 networks. You got Fox and CBS. They don't give a damn.
Oh, that's bullshit. You can buy advertising across the board.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
You think Fox
there could have been
really wants to
There had to be something they could do about that.
I think that was the number one reason why you didn't see Fox. What the
So
hell?
you can't talk about another fight if you're the announcing crew?
Why would Fox want to be telling people, hey, next Saturday, don't even watch our station. Go over to CBS and watch this boxing.
You know what? The PBC bought that time. It's not like Fox put it on.
Exactly.
It's PBC's time. They're no different than I'll say this to everybody. Understand, the PBC is no different than the infomercial for the wet vac.
Understand this.
It just buys time.
That's a conflict of interest for the network. They're not going to do it. I'm telling you, Lee. They're not. They told them you cannot promote another network on ours while we're streaming your fight. Give a shit how much time you bought. Nobody's going to tell your customer, go to the other store.
I'm just telling you, it's bullshit. A fight's a fight.
Hey, I seen it last night. I'm like, Lee, why are they not promoting Garcia Thurman?
You don't want to piss off Fox.
Exactly.
You bought the time, asshole. Talk about the fight. Next Saturday
It should have been a fucking commercial every break.
I was telling this to someone. I said next Saturday on primetime TV. In fact, I was discussing Angel Garcia's antics, and I said next Saturday is the biggest primetime fight in like forever. Like in forever.
Yes, it's like the biggest welterweight fight today.
It should be that big a fight. And sadly, here's what I think. I think Thurman's going to rip right through Danny Garcia. Like rip through him like a hot knife through butter. And doesn't really matter because they're going to be lucky to only get 1 million people watching this thing.
I hope not, Lee. It's not a good look. We already had the Ward Kovalev.
Ward Kovalev was astonishing numbers. Like I couldn't even understand.
I know. That's what the diehards gave us.
Here's the thing. A replay This is an actual fact from the night of Ward Kovalev, that a replay of Goodfellas was doing the same numbers. Yep. Okay.
I don't ever pass that movie up.
No, it was on last night.
Nice.
I'm with you.
Nice.
Yeah, of course.
I hate the end where he starts getting into all the drugs.
The cocaine.
Yeah. Like
yeah.
dumbass, but man, the beginning of that movie is awesome.
All right, quick news to round up this week. We will give you a bonus episode this week of boxing. I probably won't stick in a MMA or BJJ person in this week. We'll just talk boxing twice this week. To round out our news, so yes, I do think that Garcia versus Keith Thurman is big enough to merit a second. Well, maybe you guys are sick of us by the end of the week. Well, we'll find out, won't we? In other news, everything will be a letdown at this point. Rey Vargas, no relationship to Jesse Vargas, the number one WBC fighter, super bantamweight, claims the WBC 122-pound belt over Gavin McDonnell. Hazumi Hasagawa was the champion. He vacated the title. And so we move on. I don't know why Andrew thought this was a story that we needed to talk about, other than some dude named Vargas, no relationship to the other Vargas, is now a champion in a weight class that nobody's going to give two shits about at super bantamweight.
Yeah.
Did I cover it correctly?
Yeah. There was just two undefeated guys for a belt, Lee. Yes, sir.
All right. Now, on Friday night, there was some interesting stuff going on. Quebec in Canada. Alvarez took on Lucien Boutte. Alvarez scores a big fifth-round knockout over former world champion Lucien Boutte. They drew well. It did really well in Quebec City.
No, they always do. Boutte was a huge fighter. Actually, his best time was while the super middleweight tournament was going on. He didn't get into that tournament, so he was like the champion, the IBF super middleweight guy on the outside, fighting all the B-level guys and looking spectacular. He was doing sellouts in Canada every fight. And he had like 4 or 5 fight knockout streak going on, and it was like all the B-level guys. Edison Miranda, Lombardo Andrade, Glenn Johnson. He was fighting all those. Well, Froch, Ward, Kessler, Abraham, all of the big champs were fighting each other in a tournament. And when that tournament was over, it looked like Boutte Ward was going to be the fight, Lee. Boutte was a sellout. Ward was doing great from the Carl Froch victory, the tournament victory. It never panned out. Ward got into that argument with Goosen over money. He didn't want to take another hard fight which was true. He had just fought in Chad Dawson. Now they wanted him to fight, and Chad Dawson was a light heavyweight king. Then now they wanted him to fight Butte, and he wasn't getting paid. And that's when Ward, when it started doing the war with Guzan, and Froch took it. Froch took the fight with Butte, knocked him out in 5 rounds. Butte's never been the same. Was also busted for steroids in the last few fights. It's a pretty big downfall. It's been happening for about 5 years. I think last night or Friday night, it's probably the last time we're going to see Luciano on TV. The ugly knockout Lee, he was totally asleep when the punch landed.
In additional news, the Manny Pacquiao farewell tour, I guess, is not going through Australia anymore. It is now going through Amir Khan in Dubai. At least that's the rumor. I saw that it was being reported by Aioli as well as the Great Landmass was also making reports on it. They were breaking stories like this is really happening. So there's a lot of money in Dubai, like $38 million on the table. I don't know the validity of your next. I do know the story that there is a claim that Khan is $6 million in debt over the gyms he's building in the UK. I've seen that, so he needs a fight. I know that there's a lot of bad blood with Amir Khan, whether or not he actually deserves the fight. But again, you need a name. What I'm guessing is, and this is my impression, Andrew, they were going to fight the Australian dude. They were going to fight him in the UA or Dubai, but nobody was buying it or offering any money.
That's right.
And they told Bob, you better give us somebody with a name if you want money.
That's right. I bet you Sky Sports didn't even want that shitty fight, Horn Pacquiao.
That's fine. That's fine. Amir Khan, Pacquiao is pay-per-view.
Sky Sports is buying it. HBO's buying it.
Fuck yeah.
The Dubai is dropping $38 million just to get it live. Come on.
And I think it's an easy fight for Pacquiao.
This shows people that once again the money in America is drying up on boxing and on Manny Pacquiao. Bob Arum had to look outside. They've got to see that Dubai has been begging for a fight, right? They've got princes over there that just want to throw money away.
I'm surprised it's not Macau, honestly. Nobody's discussed Macau yet for Pacquiao.
I think it's because the connection that Amir Khan, as a Muslim, has in between. He has like 2.3 million followers,
yeah.
Lee.
No. I think in Dubai, this fight between the two of them does big business.
And Amir might have a shot.
No.
Oh, you stop. You stop. No. Manny hasn't knocked anyone out in like 9 years.
I think Amir Khan can't get through Jesse Vargas.
I was going to just say he couldn't even stop. Vargas has 7 knockouts, bro.
Yeah, but but you were always going to get somebody who was. Look, if you're talking about speed for speed and power, Pacquiao seems to have a way of just being in the fight. Like even against Floyd Mayweather, I don't ever think that Pacquiao was beat up or out of it, ever.
I don't know, Lee. That fight was pretty boring.
There was at no point where I thought that Pacquiao was just, he was beat. He was beat by a better guy playing chess.
Yeah, it was pretty boring.
Yes, it was. So to say that Amir Khan's got a chance, yeah, I guess he does.
Lee, Amir Khan has speed. He has a right hand. He's a big fighter. Okay, look at these guys have sparred before. Amir said he thinks he ruined his shot at Manny Pacquiao because he became a sparring partner and they didn't want him. You know, there was another guy who thought that too. His name was Robert Guerrero. Robert Guerrero supposedly dropped Manny Pacquiao in sparring. That fight never came off. So who knows? Who really knows? Now they're doing it. Yes, Amir has a weak chin, but Manny hasn't really shown power since the doping scandal. Not a coincidence. I don't know, Lee, but is it a coincidence? Excuse me. I don't know, but it does seem like ever since the Mayweathers brought up the doping, Manny Pacquiao hasn't seemed to have been able to drop anybody. I like this fight. This fight makes money for both men. This fight is big in the UK. It's big in Dubai. It's somewhat big in America. And that's what Manny's career has been since Floyd, is somewhat big in America. And that's why they can't look over here anymore. Bob Arum can't offer Manny Pacquiao $8 million and then only get $2 million off or $3 million. Once all the splitting goes up from the pay-per-view, when you're only averaging, 250 to 300 buys now, You know, you get what I'm saying when you're splitting that up with the pay